Ladies and gentlemen of the Hobby Lobby, welcome back. Welcome back. I am back from vacation. I am feeling refreshed and rejuvenated, and I'll talk a little more about that in the future. But right now, we're going to do a reaction to Samson, the Sixth Sense. Not the fifth, not the fourth, but the Sixth Sense. And I'm excited about getting back to Samson and seeing what my boy got for me. So, with that being said, stay tuned.
1 in a million to one villain. Too hot to be in the kitchen, I'll end up melting the ceiling.
Alright, right before we get into this reaction, I just want to take the time to notify anybody watching that we have now reached 10,000 subscribers on the Javier Show. And I am just so thankful and so excited for all the newcomers and everybody joining the family. And just want to say thank you for taking this journey with me and being a part of this great experiment that I'm doing on YouTube. With that being said, much more content to come, and I'm excited to grow and build and do much more. Now, I know we're here for Samson, so let's get into The Sixth Sense by Samson and see what my boy got going on.
Fellow Americans, good morning. Certain dates echo throughout history.
The January 6th insurrection.
January 6th attack on the United States Capitol.
The January 6th Capitol insurrection.
January 6th.
January 6th.
January the 6th.
January 6th.
Including dates that instantly remind all who have lived through them where they were and what they were doing when our democracy came under assault.
These clear acts of sedition and violence and terrorism.
A violent terrorist attack on the Capitol.
Such an attack on our democracy.
Violent attack to overthrow an election.
The worst attacks in American history.
The worst attack in American history. Huh?
I can't have it my way. I'll burn the whole country down.
Dates that occupy not only a place on our calendars, but a place in our collective memory. December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001, and January 6th, 2021.
You know, I actually didn't even see this. I'm not really interested in Kamala Harris as a person. Joe Biden, neither. You will hope that anybody who holds the office will actually be good for the country. And at the beginning of Joe Biden's presidency, when he first took his oath, he was talking about bringing people together in unity. And I just don't feel as if that actually has been accomplished. And many things have been said to actually achieve the opposite. And look, whether he wanted to unify or not, that's what he said.
Newsflash, nobody gives a fuck about it. We all admit that shit was pretty dumb, but that's about it. When we saw the news, we were shocked and we were kind of tense. Like, damn. Then we forgot about it by the 10th. Nobody's walking around stressing over Jan 6. It happened, and that was it. We haven't gave a damn since. It's all good when riots are kept in the hood, but now you're freaking out because this was in the neck of your woods. Now,
what? Say what you want to say. Say what you want to say about January 6th. But one thing you cannot say is that the people of January 6th did not take their grievances to the people who actually was the problem. The people who they felt was the problem. Say what you want. But we had riots and looting and all of this stuff that went on that didn't actually go in the direction of the people that the protesters or the rioters or whoever was actually angry with and upset with. Everybody else in the neighborhoods had to suffer, not the people who they were mad at.
it's all good when riots are kept in the hood, but now you're freaking out because this was in the neck of your woods. Now it's a big deal. Now it gets real. Now it's important to us. Not back then in 2020 when stores were boarded up. Not back then when goods were looted and folks were brutalized. Not then, but right now, because it happened to the suit and ties.
Bro, Samson, bro. All right, listen, check me out. He's saying what everybody was thinking, right? If anybody with 2 cents, it's funny. There's 2 conversations here. The first conversation is people who always go after the Second Amendment always claim that there's no way that average citizens can overthrow the government. But yet, we have the same people saying that these people almost overthrew the government, and these people really wasn't even armed. There were a lot of people just wandering around trying to figure out what the hell was going on, right? So you can't have it both ways. And the second conversation is so true. Exactly what he said. Like, when the rioting, the looting, and the burning, and all of that stuff was going on, it was mostly peaceful. But yet, now we're supposed to accept that when it happened in multiple cities across the country, night after night after night. But yet, this one incident on this one day, we're supposed to put all of our stock and investment in making it the biggest thing in the world to ever happen, on par with 9/11. Put it in context, it sounds ridiculous.
Goods were looted and folks were brutalized. Not then, but right now, cause it happened to the suit and ties. That shit's way above my head. We were fucking shit up all year with demonstrations that left dozens dead. But people like Nancy didn't flinch, in fact they loved it then. People will do what they do, bitch, ain't that what you said? Yep. There's literally compilation videos of you and all your colleagues inciting this kind of crap. So it's very fascinating to watch you swallow your words. You put your own foot in your mouth and now you're forced to dial it back. It's fine when you encourage it in my town, in his town, in her town, when the whole fucking city's being burnt down. You smile as you give the green light for mobs to rob shit, but as soon as it comes close to you, then it's a problem. Got it.
That's exactly what happened. And I'll tell you another thing. Look, Samson, very good analysis here. I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying so far. And to put the little cherry on top of this nice, beautiful Sunday that he's putting together, let's just think about coronavirus and how many of these Democrat leaders were telling people that they had to social distance, telling people that they should be on lockdown, telling people that they shouldn't be going to certain venues or certain places of business or establishments. But yet we saw multiple times where the same people who were preaching that nonsense were actually violating it themselves. Just like the mayor of Chicago, who went and got her hair done. She said, I'm a public figure and I have to have my hair done. But yet she wanted everybody else to not be able to get their hair done. So we see this happen time and time again, and the hypocrisy of it, it makes you ask the question of why are so many people blinded to this nonsense?
Give the green light for mobs to rob shit, but as soon as it comes close to you, then it's a problem. Got it. I don't condone what happened on that day, especially the officers that were assaulted. I would never dare. But as for all the politicians that were there, you fuck us over all the time, so don't expect us to care. I care more about the store owner that's getting beat down in front of his shop just for trying to protect his place of business. He would probably help me if he saw me on the ground dying. Y'all wouldn't do a damn thing. Shit, you'd probably say good riddance.
Exactly, right? Look, I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but you got to make these points evident. You got to pay attention to what he's saying. There were black business owners, and yet the left claim that they care about black businesses and they care about black people, but yet black businesses and black business owners had their businesses ruined and during those riots and looting and stuff like that, and nobody cared. There was a black retired police officer who was literally murdered during one of those riots. And nobody really knows his name. Nobody cares. He wasn't put out on the news in multiple different medias and constant coverage of what happened and trying to find out who did it, right? They don't care. It only matters when it affects them personally. And that's when we're all supposed to be like, oh my gosh. But it's like, seriously? Really? Are you telling me your life is more important than the average person's life? I don't care if you're on the left or the right. I don't care what your politics are. I don't think that we should put politicians above every average citizen. And the moment we start to do that, what we're doing is we're empowering those people in office to minimize the average American citizen, to think that they are above us, and they start to behave that way. And that's how you get some of these outcomes.
Help me if he saw me on the ground dying. Y'all wouldn't do a damn thing. Shit, you'd probably say good riddance. You'd walk right over me like I was a crack, and you were trying to save your mother's back like a 5-year-old kid. If you did acknowledge me, you'd probably nudge my body and go, aw, little fucker must have died of COVID. You know it's true. Stop bluffing. They do absolutely nothing that is trusting. Kamala, for you to compare this to Pearl Harbor and 9/11 is disrespectful and fucking disgusting. Bitch. That's the most self-centered thing that I've ever seen. Compared to those events, it's not even worth remembering.
Yes, look at the body counts. Look at the body counts. Compare the body counts. Compare the motives and the reasonings. Compare the planning. Compare all those things. How are you putting January 6th in the same camp with 9/11 and Pearl Harbor? Say that January 6th is bad. We could agree. Say that January 6th didn't need to happen. We could agree. You can say many different things, but what you cannot do is put it in the same category with 9/11. At this point, you're grasping for straws. At this point, you're being an alarmist. and you're just basically gaslighting. This is just ridiculous.
Self-centered thing that I've ever seen. Compared to those events, it's not even worth remembering. No one that I know is even still paying attention to it. We'd all forget this shit in like a month if nobody mentioned it. Yep. And you know it too. You're gonna milk this thing and squeeze it till it's bone dry and it won't drip any juice. While your stupid committee's wasting money convicting people from a year ago while CNN runs continuous loops.
Yeah, and it's all about shifting the focus. If we can continuously focus on January 6th and Donald Trump, then we can ignore every problem and issue that's going on with the administration currently. Every administration has their problems. Every administration makes, issues or may make mistakes or whatever the case may be. But as long as you can focus on your enemy or things that happened in the past, people are more likely to ignore what's actually going on in the moment. And that goes for both parties. That happens a lot. And just the fact that the Democrats are doing it right now, when there are major problems in this country that need to be addressed, like inflation, and we're talking about the war in Ukraine that's going on and the potential conflict of NATO, and just it's a numerous amount of things that's taking place right now. And every administration has their challenges, but at the same time, we need more conversations about that and less conversation about focusing on something that pretty much most Americans already agree were pretty bad.
Would rather hear you address a million other issues. We don't want to listen to you cry. Get a fucking tissue. So many things could be dealt with in a jiff, but you would rather sit in front of us and smell your own shit. I refuse to show concern for a group of people that I have no respect for. I won't go there. I'm not happy about it. I'm not mad about it either. I'm just neutral on the issue. I just don't care. Yeah, I'm back.
Yo. I gotta go support Samson. Alright, I know a few of y'all have been telling me about having some audio issues, and I've tried to change a few settings, so y'all let me know if y'all had any audio issues in the comment section of this video. I changed some settings around to see if it will work. If it doesn't work, then I'm assuming that whatever software that I'm using has a bug or some kind of issue causing me to have audio problems, because it shouldn't be doing this at this point. But let me know in the comment section, did you have any audio problems? And at the same time, let me get this Hobby Lobby ranking for Samson. Alright? Y'all, when it came to the bars, I'm going to do the bars first. Got to say it twice, right? I say that bars, simply giving it an 8 out of 10. I'm giving it 8 out of 10 on this one, Samson. Everything you said was great. The flow wasn't ridiculous. It was just truth that needed to be said. And I think with that, you did a very good job at getting through your message and saying it in a great way. But it was nothing over the top. Nothing to break the scale. Nothing to get that perfect 10 out of 10. But definitely a strong, solid 8 out of 10. When it came to the beat was okay. Wasn't the best beat. It was okay. I'm going to give that beat a 5 out of 10. Just a regular beat, but I get that you wasn't necessarily going for a banger beat. You was trying to make sure you got your message across. And for that, I'm going to bump that beat up to 6. 6 out of 10. When it came to the visuals, this is your thing, Samson. I get that you do the bare minimum and you don't want to blow out any money. You don't need to, because what's most important with your whole image is getting the message across that you're trying to get across. And I appreciate that. And I don't want to take points away from you for your visuals. And believe it or not, your camera work is much better than a lot of people who's trying to do this. But I'm going to give that one 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 on the visuals. Can't go much higher than that. And that's just understanding based on who the artist is. Overall score, I'm giving this song a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 on the overall score. Samson, thank you. Appreciate the message. And thank all of y'all for taking the time to watch. This went on a little long, but he touched on some very important subjects that I wanted to elaborate on and give my thoughts, my 2 cents, if you would say. I hope that all of you enjoy your week, and I shall see you again. Peace and glory, everybody. You know what that means. Be peaceful and be great. Till next time, I'm out.
1 in a million to 1 villain. Too hot to be in the kitchen, out in the melting the ceiling.